All right, folks. My next guest is a dope and amazing MC and entertainer who comes out of Atlanta, Georgia, by way of Long Island, New York. A true lyricist and just has an amazing and ridiculous work ethic. Wanted to welcome John Jiggs to the show today. How are you, brother?
Yo, man, I'm doing great, man, and thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, are you still going through some jet lag, or are you all caught up on sleep now?
Nah, man, I got a couple. I've gotten a few good nights sleep since I've been home, and really, it ain't no time to be lagging, man. Got to get back to
No,
it.
I
You
know.
know?
I love that about you. And I wanted to shout out Indigo Phoenix real quick for connecting us. Good friend of mine,
Yeah.
a good
Shout
friend
out
of
to
yours.
Indigo. That's my sis right there, man. Word.
Yeah. Well, hey man, you're coming off the Thelonious Monk tour. Did a big tour in Europe. A lot of dope
Hmm.
stops in France, Switzerland, Sweden, Netherlands, Belgium. Had some dope people on the lineup. Afro, Melee
Hmm.
Sparks from back in the day. I was like, man,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
my boy. Me and Melee go back, man. That's my man. Actually, the first time came over there, he was uh, very instrumental in getting me over there the first time, 2018. So we go back about as far as that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Does he live out in Europe now? I think he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
where he's at. Yeah. Hmm.
Hey, super cool. Looked like a fun tour. And man, I enjoyed all the footage and just the pictures all over the place. You made some stops at record shops to do meet and greets.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
glad that you guys captured that entire tour for people to see in the US. That was
yeah.
dope.
That good old grassroots mom and pop record shop. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, man. That's a great feeling. That's a lost art. You know.
Yeah. Hey, how'd you feel about the fans in Europe? Do they celebrate hip hop different than in the United States? Is it a different feeling when you're performing there in New York or Atlanta, or is it the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely appreciate it more. I think sometimes in the States we take hip hop for granted just because we've had it and we've had access to it for so long,
Mm.
and it's, you know what I'm saying? And you know, especially with social media now, your favorite rapper is like a DM away if they decide to answer you, you know what I'm saying? And you get to see them every day, so it's not like the same, but over there, they still get that feeling. And I noticed that over there the crowds were a lot younger too.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I'm saying? Which I think is super dope. Like over here, usually my shows be like probably like maybe 25 or 30 and up. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? For the most part, you know what I'm saying? But over there, I'm looking at college age kids, you know what I'm saying? And they going crazy to the music. So I think that's like super dope, you know?
yeah, absolutely too. And people from all over the world and who probably don't, they didn't speak English as their first language. Just very excited to see you guys. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty
They
awesome.
now they definitely show love on a different level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I definitely have rocked some crowds in the States and rocked some stages and in America. And depending on the night and the vibe, it could go crazy in the States too. But usually in Europe, you can bet on them giving you that energy back. And what people don't really understand is that it makes the show better. Like
Yeah,
it gives,
hell yeah.
as a performer, when you get that energy from the crowd, man, you're gonna turn up even more. You know
Oh,
what
I
I'm saying?
bet.
So that synergy, you know what I'm saying? So what a lot of people don't understand is that when they go to the show and they just kind of sitting back and being cool, even though they might like it, they might be sitting back and being cool, actually taking away from the energy. You know what I'm saying? Because as performers, we feed off of that. You know?
The footage I saw in the Netherlands, I was like, dude, John Jig's got some bad breath control. I mean, there was
Yeah.
footage of you doing Thelonious Monk, and I was like, dude, he was just hitting the rapid. You were hitting the rapid fire verses. I was like, dude, he needs to breathe. So
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
was pretty amazing, man. Hey, do
Yeah, man.
they start shows a little bit later out in Europe? I know they do dinner late out there where you
Well,
pour.
some of the yeah, well, it depends. I mean, some of the shows were like actually earlier. I
Okay,
thought, for you know what I mean, for based on what I'm used to here,
okay,
um, like it depends. It definitely depends on what city you're in. A lot of
yeah,
people get Europe twisted. Like it's like, when you go into these stops, we're not talking. When you go into these different cities, it's like going to another state. You know what I'm saying, in the
yeah,
U.S. So it may be you're still in Europe, but it may be it's just like being in America. You know, you might be in New York, but then you got to go to Florida or you got to go somewhere else. You know, you're just looking at the same type of distance going from place to place. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So so it's always different. They always got different, guidelines or whatever. Some of my shows were earlier. Then we did do some late night shows. Like a lot of the times, the cities where they have the more urban places, they usually the shows will be a little bit later. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Hey, how
Like
was the fashion compared to the US? Was it, similar, or did they have an original style back in Europe, or
yo, it's funny that you bring that up because what we were noticing, and this is all over Europe, we were noticing that a lot of people were wearing Carl Kanai over there.
oh dang.
I was like,
I was rocking
yo,
that
this is
back in the
dope.
day.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I was a kid, Carl Kanai was like the best
Yeah.
thing, right? And I was seeing, like, he's obviously like doing his numbers over there because
Yeah.
a lot of these kids were wearing Carl
That's
Kanai shirts and
wild.
Carl Kanai coats and stuff. And I was like, yo, that's so dope.
Yeah.
And then they have actually they have a lot of their own brands over there too. When I was in Amsterdam, I
Okay.
got to go to got to go to this store called Pata, which is like a really big brand over there, streetwear brand or whatever.
Yeah.
So they definitely got their own style, you know what I'm saying? Like they're definitely on it too. As far, I'm a sneakerhead, so I'm always looking at sneakers. When I was over
Okay.
there, I saw like it was definitely like a lot of Dunks, a lot of Air Maxes, you know
Nice.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They were, you know what I mean? It's not the same as here. We're like heavy Jordan people here.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Yeah, Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones, I think, are universal, but it's just different to see. It's just dope to see like what people wear. You know what I'm saying? Over
Yeah.
there. But that Caulk and I thing definitely stuck out to me a lot. Like I was like, yo, that's fly. You know?
Yeah. Did they have the Falconite shirts with the buckles, or they don't do that anymore? You remember the buckles they
Nah,
had?
it just had like the threaded
Yeah.
Carcanine, the
Impressive.
embroidered Carcanine, the joint on it, and just different
That's cool.
designs and stuff. So he's out. Shout out to him, man. He's very smart. He's obviously probably doing really well over there because I saw quite a few people wearing it.
Oh, well, hey man, you're killing the game right now. And what I love to do during these interviews is take it back and just understand your life in terms of how you developed as an MC. Can you talk to me real quick where you were born, where you were raised, and where you hang your hat these days?
Yeah, so I mean, I was actually born upstate New York, Poughkeepsie, um, uh, and I was up there till I was probably about 3 years old, and then we came to Long Island to a town called Riverhead, which is where I grew up most of my years. When I got to high school, probably moved about 10 minutes away to like basically like the Hamptons or whatever. So I
Yep.
got like a real good mixture of growing up in the hood and then being and then living more of a suburb, and then living in more of a suburb. And what I'm saying? So I think that actually helps me to this day, being able to kind of operate in both spaces.
Yeah.
Um, you know, uh, and I probably stayed in Riverhead until I was about maybe 19 or 20, and then I kind of left and I kept, Long Island is if you're doing music in Long Island, you have to go to New York City. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? That's kind of like
Yeah.
your stamp of approval. Like, we have a
Good
scene on
point.
Long Island and you want to rise to the top of that scene. But then once you do that, it's time for you to go to New York City and really get that stamp. New York is probably the toughest place to make it ever.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So once you go there, and I started out just taking the subway, going and doing a bunch of open mics, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, just making my presence felt, jumping in any cipher I could jump in, and
I love it.
you know what I mean, just doing that thing, and yeah, man, it just kind of blew up, man. While I was doing that, I was actually in a group for a long time called the 495 Boys. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? This is basically my high school childhood
That's
friends or whatever. And by the time I'm gonna say like maybe 2010, 2011 came around, I started like kind of looking at maybe doing like a solo project or whatever.
yeah.
And but it was still a big leap, and I wasn't sure about if I was ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? There was some apprehension there because I had been in this group for so long since
Yeah.
I was like 16, 15, 16 years old. And I wasn't sure about if I was strong enough to carry it on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's a good point, man. You've been doing it with the group and you feel secure. And then Yeah, there's always that feeling like, man, can I do it by myself? And I love your story too because you mentioned in prior interviews that, hey man, you were just rapping to rap and didn't even think about your name. And I love the story how you got the John Jigg's name. It was like
Yeah,
after
yeah,
the
yeah.
cipher, right? Tell that story because I
Yeah.
was like,
No.
dude, that
So
is
no, it was
dope.
just like a regular. It was just like a regular morning at school, high school, whatever. We
Yeah,
get there. We get there early. We used to always like rap in the lobby, at least until like the principal came and stopped us or
right, right.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? We would go in the lobby in the morning and we get busy, whatever. And somebody just said it, like they was always calling me John or whatever. But
Yeah.
then somebody was like, "Yo, John Jiggs." Somebody just like shouted it out, like what I'm saying. And I was like, "Yo." It just caught. I was like, yo, that might be it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, John Jiggs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was it from there.
It
Um,
sounds dope.
and I
At a
would
young
definitely
age,
say,
too. At a young
yeah,
age.
like 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
definitely on top of all of that, me growing up in Long Island, I'm also spending a lot of time, a great deal of time in the Bronx with my brother. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Growing up or whatever. I'm going there like on the weekends, usually maybe like 2 weekends out of the month, and like a lot of my school
Right.
breaks and stuff like that. My older brother lives in the Bronx, so he's a DJ. So
Oh, nice.
he was also kind of pushing me in the way of being an MC or doing something associated with hip hop because he
Oh,
was so in love with it. He was a DJ, so he was so in love with it, and he grew up in that golden era. That
yeah.
era, like he grew up in the inception. He's a lot older than me. So he definitely pushed me in that direction as well. But as far as me coming up in the group and then going solo, I I ran into my cousin Brandon. I hadn't seen him since we were little or whatever. He's like I think he's like 9 years younger than me or something like that. So I hadn't seen him since he was like a baby and I was like an adolescent or whatever.
Yeah.
I was throwing an event. I was throwing an event, or actually the 495 boys. We were throwing an event in the town. We used to throw a concert every year at the Vale Levitt Music Hall. This particular year, I had gotten back in touch with him, and he had some guys from his area in Boston that he brought with him to come and perform at the thing. So I talked to him. I'm talking to my cousin Brandon. Talking to him, and I'm telling him like I'm thinking about doing like the solo thing or whatever. I
Yeah.
think I might. So he's like, "Yo, let's do it." You know what I'm saying? So he started like sending me beats, and then I started taking the Chinese bus out to Boston, and like I was recording my first project, which is the Drugs Project, my first mixtape and I was recording that. I started going over there. Probably took me like about 6 months,
Yeah.
and I was going back and forth. We recorded. He was like sending me beats, finding me beats. He is setting up my studio sessions for me, just basically making it easy for me. I come. I basically come there. I'd let he meet me at the bus station and we go straight to the studio. And I would just stay there. And shout out to my auntie, his mom too, because she used to always make me a big feast every time.
Yeah.
He would make me
Emily.
make me some great food every time I came or whatever. That was like a ritual. And I would go there. I recorded that first project. And I came back home and I put it out and it did really well. I ended up getting a mixtape of the year award and
Yeah.
best new artist and all
Man.
this stuff. And then I put out my first music video, and I think it hit like maybe 1,300 views or something like that. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Right.
yeah, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. So once I got that reassurance that this is what I was supposed to do, I'm like, what I'm saying? Let's keep going. I started recording the next one. I started doing shows. I started actually doing like the open mic circuit in Boston. I'm
Okay.
hitting,
Oh wow.
my cousin is setting up plays for me, telling me, okay, you got to come out here for this show. We're gonna record some more music, yada yada yada, and that's
Yeah.
what we're doing. I was just going out there doing the project, doing the shows, and I was getting a really good response. And Boston is kind of like a microcosm of New York as far as
That's
like
right.
the hip hop scene. It's very similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once I started to get the stamp of approval from Boston, I'm like, okay, now it's time to go to the big city.
Ooh.
So I started doing, like I said, I started doing open mics in New York and doing the shows out there, and I was getting that love. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it was just all this was just like reassurance that it was supposed to happen. You know what I mean? And it's been a hell of a ride since then, man. I've been,
Yeah.
just working and touring and
Yeah.
making sure I keep content going. You know what I'm saying? And
Videos.
yeah, a bunch
Yeah.
of videos, just making sure, making sure I keep my fan base fed, and every year it just gets better and better, and that's kind of what it is. And I was never, but that's the thing. When I came into this, I know was never looking for like overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Right.
just, I'm
You
just
put the
not.
work in.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen so many people come out and be huge for like, they have a good 2, 3 year run and that's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes not even that long. You know what I'm saying? So
Consistency.
I never wanted that. I always wanted to be remembered as like there's a bunch of dope rappers that came out probably in the last couple of years and no, they made it came out last year or the year before and nobody even remembers them or probably couldn't even tell me their name right now. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And that's
Yeah.
what I never wanted. I never wanted to become like a here today, going tomorrow type thing,
Yeah.
so I like it. I like it this way, building. You know what I'm saying? Building and creating a legacy rather than just kind of being pushed into the spotlight.
Yeah, is it a trip to think just how far you've come and you started, in the group and then you had some unsure feelings that, hey, I don't know if I could do this by myself. And then you got into rhythm and just made it happen. And now you're here all torn all over the world. Is it crazy to think as you sit here today, like, damn, I did some good shit.
Yeah, yo, I think about it all the time. Honestly, I think about it all the time, and the thing about it is, like, uh the thing about it is I had so much going on like in my personal life and there was so much like turmoil going on around me that
Yeah.
the music really became like something I could just run to and I didn't have to for that moment when I'm on stage or that moment when I was in the studio, like when I'm in the studio I could either vent about it or I could forget about it for the moment or I could or when I'm on stage I'm not thinking about any of that other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think, honestly, that's what had me addicted. It probably has a lot of other rappers addicted to it too, because
Yeah.
for that moment, for that 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes, however long you're up there, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that right there is a beautiful thing. And it just gives you a feeling of, you know, especially somebody like me that's been through a lot of whatever. It's like I'm doing something. I know, like for this moment, I'm doing something right. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? This is something that I really know how to do, and people
Yeah.
like it when I do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're really diverse too. And I saw that you talked about, comparing Atlanta and New York and the different pockets of hip hop that Atlanta has. You
Yeah.
mentioned they got a boom bap scene, they got a trap scene. And what I
Hmm.
love about your music is that you're very diverse. Like I could see you doing a little bit of each. And so is
Yeah.
that kind of just does it happen on accident or do you want to make sure that you can rap on whatever beat and whatever topic
Yeah.
you want?
Well, I mean, the thing about me is I never wanted to like put a box on anything. I
Mm,
just if it feels comfortable doing it and it sounds good,
yeah,
then I would do it. You know what I'm saying? As far as musically, like I'm not looking to just take over one lane. I like
yeah,
all the artists that I grew up being fans of, like they were good at all of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at somebody like a 50 Cent, like there's
yeah,
or Jay-Z, like if you look at his catalog, he's got everything in his
yeah,
catalog.
for sure.
You could turn, you know what I'm saying? He's got fuck with me, I got it. He's got that.
Yeah.
Streets is watching. You know what I mean? There's so
Song
much.
cry, something.
There's song cry. There's so much variety there. To me, that's what makes him great. Like no matter how I'm feeling, he got a song to match that mood. You know, and that's the kind of artist I always wanted to be. You know.
Yeah. And I was excited to hear that you were a fan of Mace. And that's why
Oh
you
man,
do it. And so I'm
that's
like, man, I love Mace. I always thought he could rap his ass off. So that
people
was
people try to people and I get that he kind of messed up his legacy with like kind of going back and forth from being a preacher to I understand why people are critical of him, right? But when you look at but if you look at his impact at that time
right.
when he came out, there was nobody bigger. There was
Yeah.
nobody bigger. You
His
know what I'm
flow
saying? And
too.
yeah, the flow musically, the beat choices, the
Yeah.
style, we were literally trying to dress like him when we were in high school.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? We literally were watching the video to see what he had on and trying to go get it. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
yeah.
Like literally because that's how like how dope he was. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
the females loved him. You know what I'm saying? It was a real thing. Like Mace was Mace was that guy. I do wish that he would have kept going for a while
Yeah.
longer.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying? Because I he actually hear that he's about to drop a new album. You know what I'm saying? But
I
like,
heard.
yeah, I just heard that he's about to drop a new album. But as far as like that time, 97, 98 to
Woo, he
about
was killing.
99, yeah, he was destroying everything. You know what I'm saying? And he was the thing about it is what was dope about him is like, he people would call him like I guess like a pretty boy or like more rap, but he rapped very well
Yeah,
too. On top of that,
so good.
it wasn't like he was just spitting some bubblegum rap. Like he was rapping. And then if you really knew Mace from before that,
Children of the
you
Corn.
knew yeah, you knew that
Yeah.
you already knew how busy he could get. Before that, you heard him on DMX's album,
Yeah.
you heard him on other people's albums. You already knew how lyrically talented he was. So,
Yup.
what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that is the reason why I put the dollar sign on my name instead of just the S.
I thought that was
Yeah,
dope, man, because
yeah,
I'm a big fan of Mace too. So I was like, dang, and I love like you love the different pockets of hip hop. It's hip hop music, right? Rap music, man. Are you a fan or not?
right. Yeah, right, right,
That's
right, right.
well, good man. Hey, what was your first exposure to music? What were your parents or your family members playing when you were a kid? Do you recall?
I mean, my mother, she was definitely into like a lot of jazz, but like
Okay.
also like that 80s, like 80s soul kind of music. I'm not sure like she used to listen to groups like Cameo and
Yeah,
Midnight
Night Star.
Star
Yep.
and yeah, she used to I'm trying to think of some of the other it's so many for me to remember, but I
Yeah.
remember like my mom listening to like New
Oh
Edition
God,
and
I love you.
Keith Sweat,
Yep.
Bobby Brown, people like that. She even back to like she would listen to like Peabo Bryson and
Nice.
this is my mom in her 30s, as she got a little bit older,
Yeah.
as she, as she got a little bit older, she would listen to like more jazz and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Which
Yeah.
was cool too, which was definitely cool too. So I mean, I went from that to like I said, my brother with the DJing with the Gangstar, Cool G Rap, and
Yeah.
Public Enemy, and all of that stuff. So then once I came into my own, and I started listening to like Nas and
Yeah.
Mobb Deep and Jay-Z and people like that, Capone and Noriega.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Same here.
saying? Yeah, like that's when that was more my twist. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But all of that stuff prepared me for that. You know what I'm saying? Because by
Yeah.
the time I came about to really get into my own style of hip hop. We talking 94, 95, 96. You know what I'm saying? And then so on. And so by the time I'm in high school, it's 98, 99. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my era right there. You know what I'm saying?
Good. That's a good time. Do you remember the first rap record you ever heard when you were a kid?
Um, I actually do. Probably one of the first rap records that I heard, and I wasn't supposed to hear it, but I heard Doggy Style.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Doggy Style. I was amazed by that. I was amazed by that. Definitely Illmatic.
Yeah.
Reasonable Doubt is in there too.
Hmm.
But also Crisscross too. Crisscross. I
Oh
can't forget Crisscross.
yeah, jump.
I
All
was a
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was. That's what really made me start writing. Actually, writing raps
Yeah.
was Crisscross. You
Dude,
know what I'm
they were
saying? Yeah, they were killing it, man. They were killing it. I
as
didn't know
kids.
that Jermaine Dupri was writing their rhymes for them at the time. I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't know that
I
either.
thought yeah, Jermaine Dupri was actually writing their raps for them, but I didn't know that at the time. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking these kids they killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I wanted to be like them because they came out hard and then they were the delivery was great and then the brat too at
Yeah,
the same time. I was like, so Def was
they were
killing it. Yeah.
super dope,
Oh, that's
super
super
dope.
awesome. And who's in John Jigg's top three of all time,
Top three of all time.
dead or alive?
Oh man, I mean,
It's hard, but I'm curious.
nah. I mean, top three of all time. I mean, it's Biggie, Jay Z, Nas, man.
Yeah. Hey,
I
there's
mean,
nothing wrong with that, man. All legends.
yeah. I mean, I'd have to say, yeah. I mean, if we're going to go top three, yeah, Biggie, Jay Z, Nas. I mean, Biggie. The thing is, I want to put. I always want to put Biggie on there because of the impact that he had on me.
Yeah,
But I am objective enough to look at it and say that he didn't have the extensive catalog that everybody else.
yeah,
Some of his even though yeah, the impact is crazy. Like I can't even. I don't even think I can name two. I don't think I can name five albums better than. I can't even name two or
Ready
three
to
albums better.
Die.
No, better than Life After Death.
Oh, Life After Death was amazing, man.
I don't even think I can name two or three albums better than that album.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no misses on that album, and it's a
no,
double album.
and it was a double album, right? Oh God, man. Oh, Miss
Yeah,
You, the song he did with Bone. Yeah, no, that's great, man. I always love to hear and see who impacted you the most. So that's great,
yeah,
man.
but those are the three, man. Biggie, Jay Z, not Biggie, Jay Z, Nas, I would say.
Yeah,
And if I was gonna and if I was
honorable
gonna
mention. Who gets
and if I
honorable
was
mention?
if I was gonna say not put Biggie because of his untimely demise and him not being able to go further, um, I will probably say who would be that for? I might go like Sean Price or something like that.
Oh yeah, heck yeah, Sean
Yeah.
Price. Yeah,
Priest.
how you feel about Oh man, I love Boot Camp Kickball.
Priest.
Yeah, how do you feel about Pac, man? Where's Pac on your list?
Love Pac, man. I love Pac. I just, I'm just more of a lyrical guy. Pac was lyrical, but
Yeah,
sometimes sometimes it was like kind of almost like he was. What's the word I'm looking for? Like sometimes his flow could become a little bit his lyrics could become a little bit too predictable. Like
okay,
Pac had some dope record. Pac had some super dope records, and I there's records that I always that are, he got some records of that are go tos for me definitely.
yeah,
But I just kind of felt like maybe because he had so much music that it kind of like what I mean? And maybe some of it was watered down. Like if Pac has got 1,000 songs, I probably only like 500 of them.
okay. That's
Meanwhile Biggie might have 100 songs and I like 90 of them.
I
You
see your
understand
logic.
what I'm
I see your
saying? You know
logic.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, put it that way. Yeah.
yeah. I do put Pac's All Eyes on Me album the same level as Life After Death, man.
All eyes on me. That's what I'm saying. All eyes on me is incredible. If we
Yeah.
were to talk albums, all eyes on me is definitely there. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely there.
No, that's great,
Word.
man. Well, hey, man, what about just dabbling in other elements of hip hop? You mentioned your brother's a DJ. Did you try that? Did you break dance? Did you
I
graffiti?
tried. I tried. Well, I definitely did a lot of tagging when I was a kid.
Hell yeah.
When I was younger, when I was in high school, definitely used to hit. I used
Hit
to
it
hit
up.
shit up all the time. I don't do it. I don't do it no more because I'm like a
Right, right,
dad, and I would
right,
hate to get
right.
arrested for doing something like that and have to call my wife and get bailed out because I wanted to write on somebody's wall. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But when I was younger, I used to definitely do a lot of tagging. And what you call it? And I never tried. I don't think I ever tried breakdancing. I did try DJing with my brother before. Like he kind of tried to show me, but he was like, "Nah, man, just stick to rapping, yo."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
He's like, that's what you're good at. Just rap."
Yeah. Well, one thing I want to give you props on is your fashion sense, man. I love the way you dress, and
Thank
in
you,
the
man.
video, your outfits that you pick on the video are really great, man. So, in your opinion, how important is fashion to the music that you do, or does that have nothing to do with it?
Nah, I think it's definitely important. I think definitely you definitely need to look the part. You definitely need to look. You know what I'm saying? You definitely need, and and I've always been a person that likes nice clothes and,
Yeah.
sneakers. Like I said, I'm a sneakerhead.
Yep.
I think that I think that's a part of the culture. I think that, Wu Tang is not Wu Tang without the
Yeah, that's
the
a great
army
point.
jackets, the army jackets and the Timbs. I feel like Nas is not Nas without the half moon part in his head and the
Yeah.
big QB chain. I feel like Jay Z is not Jay Z without the bulletproof vest and the Jerry Rice jersey on and Streets
Yeah.
is watching. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with or the platinum one is like all of that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People, and it's no different from regular life. People are going to accept you but better if you based
Yeah.
on the way you present yourself.
That's a
You know
good
what I'm
point.
saying?
True.
Um, so I definitely make it a point to, and I think honestly, I think that's why Griselda also has been so successful too,
Okay.
because they're not only just making super dope music, but
Yeah.
they visually it looks appealing. You
Yeah. Good
understand what I'm
point.
saying? The way that they dress, the way that it's all, they made backpack rap fly again. Because
Yeah.
there was for a while where it was just like you could just throw on anything and make a music video, and
Yeah.
people would just have to accept that. But when they came along, they they dressed, even though it might be a $1,000 video, they dressed like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and I think that's definitely important. I think that
Yeah.
hip hop and fashion go hand in hand, and I think they were able to tap into that, and I think that's what part of the reason why they're so successful.
Yeah, your point about the Wu Tang Clan and therefore and their fashion was that's spot on, man. I remember
Yeah,
trying to rap and
Method Man with the goggles on his
yeah,
head.
and
You know what I'm
pulling the
saying?
pants leg up. Oh
Yeah, all of that. That's what I'm
man,
saying. LL
oh
Cool J wearing a hat every time
yeah,
with the pants leg up. You know,
oh
even the Kangos before that. Like
I copied
that's
that all.
important. And let's not even talk about Run DMC with the
Oh
Adidas, man. Like
man,
the
yeah,
shell tops, like you know what I'm saying. So all of that stuff goes hand in hand. Hip hop and fashion is like one
yeah,
and two. You know what I mean?
yeah. I like that, man. Hey, what's your opinion of the current music scene? How do you like the stuff that's on the radio?
I don't even know. I haven't even listened to the radio in a long time, but I do know that the radio is all corporate now.
Yeah,
I know that besides Mix Show, everything is there's one playlist for like the entire country, and I
yeah,
think that's a crime.
mm,
I don't think it should be that way. I think that we lost, even though the internet has opened things up. I feel like with those playlists that go across the whole country, it's like you're losing sight
yeah,
of like regional hip hop.
yeah. That's
You know what
good.
I'm saying? There used to be a time when you could go or travel to another city and you could hear
Just that.
whoever whoever was bubbling in that city, you could hear them on the radio.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like
pay to play.
now it's like now it's just like whatever they're playing in Chicago, they're playing the same thing in Buffalo. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They're
Yeah.
playing the same thing here. They're playing the same thing there. It's like there's no local artists, and if it wasn't for, thank God that we didn't have this back in the 2000s and the 2010s, because
Yeah.
a lot of the artists that you're listening to right now, they wouldn't have been able to break through if it wasn't for local radio
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
having those playlists tailored to the area. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Smart.
Because I've been traveling for a long time, and I used to find out about new artists by going there and listening to the radio, finding them,
Right.
talking to the locals, and the locals would tell me, "Oh, yo, you never heard of this? Oh, he's a legend out here.
That's right.
He's dope out here. You know what I'm saying? He's been killing it since I was in high school. Yada yada yada." And then I get to go and do my homework and find out about this person.
Yeah.
But they kind of killed regional hip hop with these nationwide playlists. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting
It's
point.
just kind of crazy. Yeah, yeah. But thank God, like I said, for Sirius XM. Thank
Yeah.
God for Sirius XM. Thank God for all the internet DJs and all the internet radio shows and all
Oh
of that,
man.
because they're helping keep it alive. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Thank God for all of all of the platforms online that support the independent artists and things, because that's the only way you will really know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you've been doing it for a minute, man. So what motivates you to still do music? How do you find inspiration to still write and release music?
Um, I mean, this thing is like, I don't know. To be honest with you, it's just like it's like second nature to me.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine my life without it. Um, it's just something that I've always done,
Yeah.
and it's second nature to me. And I mean, now, life be life in sometimes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
100%.
life be life in sometimes. So I might even take a month or two off from like
Right.
recording, or you know what I'm saying. And I feel like that's important too, because sometimes you have to live in order to be able to create.
those
You know what I'm
experiences.
saying? Right. So just to go experience some stuff, and then you can, if you're a good artist, you know how to take that and put it on paper. So like this
Yeah,
tour that I just did, you know what I'm saying? It may inspire me to get back in the studio. And I'm a
yeah,
type of person, I record in spurts. So I may take a couple months off, but then I'll be back in there hard for like 3 months, and I'll
nice.
wrap up all the albums and everything I need to do. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
then,
cool.
but I think that's how you keep it fresh by.
Yeah,
I know some artists' motto is to like be in the studio every single day, and I respect it, you know what I'm saying? Um, but I just, to me, I feel like maybe taking a little bit of time to fall back and
yeah.
let your brain rest. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that keeps the quality up where it needs to be.
Dope, man. Hey, what fueled your move from New York to Atlanta? Why the big move?
Well, I mean, as you said, as we said before, born and raised in New York.
Yeah,
I've been in New York my whole life. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Once I got married and had a family and kids and just all of this stuff. It was like it just seemed like a much better place to be able to try to raise kids and have them grow up. New York had just become super, super congested, super expensive.
yeah, yeah. That's true.
It just didn't seem like it was designed for like family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
More
It just doesn't, even on Long Island, it's like
I see
I
what you're
don't know how they expect people to survive, you know what I'm saying?
saying.
Based on the cost of living. So I'm like, I can go, and I can be in New York and I can spend 500,000 on a house, and it'll be a tiny house, and I might not
Yeah,
be in the best neighborhood, and I
that's
won't have no yard, and I won't have nothing. I can come down here, spend the same 500,000, and be in the best neighborhood,
yeah,
and have open space, a yard.
yeah,
It's safe. I don't have to worry about nothing. It just made more sense to me. Shout out to everybody that's still trying to thug at it in New York, but it just didn't make sense to me. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, I understand. Priorities change, man.
And I'm not, and the thing is, I'm not like I'm grown now. It's not like I need to, not like I'm looking to be, when I wake up in the morning, my first thought is not to go run the street. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like what I kind of need to be away from that stuff so that I can kind of focus on what's more important anyway, you know?
I understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
hey man. And so I want to talk to you also about just your recent release, the Teflonious Monk album that you did with Butterknife haircuts and 10
Yeah.
tracks of just rawness. And hey, what was the idea of putting that album together? What caused you to call it that? And what were you thinking when you assembled those tracks?
Okay, so I mean, based on my mom and also like doing record, a lot of digging in the crates with my brother and stuff, but also my mom too and her affinity for jazz. I had always been familiar with Thelonious Monk,
Yeah, that's right.
right? But once I really started to do homework on him, I found a lot of similarities. When he came along, he was his style was totally different, and people thought that he was crazy because of the type of, he did things with a piano that nobody had ever even tried to do before.
Oh,
You know what
wow.
I'm saying? And it was and the different melodies and rhythms that he was catching and the way that he was approaching it was just so different, and people thought he was crazy. And he was so stubborn about it that he kept doing it this particular way, and until people started to and he stuck with it and became popular, sticking to his guns. You know what I'm saying? He had worked with bigger musicians, and he had chances to kind of switch up his style and make it more mainstream and digestible for people so that he could get to the other, but he wasn't interested in that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I just thought that that was very honorable. I thought that that was very honorable, and I thought there's something to be said about a person that can stick to their own guns and
yeah,
still make things happen.
agreed.
You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to assimilate, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just do what everybody else is doing.
It's very easy to go with the flow and do what everybody else is doing. And if that works for you, that's great, right?
Yeah,
But when everybody goes right and somebody is gonna say they're gonna go left and they still get there before everybody, or they still get to the same destination, right?
yeah,
That right there, that to me, I give that person that goes left more respect
Yeah.
because they, you know what I'm saying, they did it their own way.
Found their own way.
So right, and then when I started to look even further, like documentaries and stuff about him, like he had a lot of mental, mental issues. Like he kind of, he was a very introverted type of person where he would kind of, when things would happen, he would kind of just absorb it
Okay.
instead of reacting. He would just absorb it, and then it would come out in the music or it would come out in the art. And I thought that, I definitely identify with that as well.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, it was just that, and just me tapping in with Butter Knife. I know that I know he's definitely had some of the same qualities of him as far as like wanting to do things his way, and so we connected on that level. You know what I mean? And when he brought the production to me, it was easy. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't a hard process at all. Like
Oh
we
man.
got together. I literally went to New York, and me and him got together, and it was like two. Like we had recorded the whole thing in 2 days, and then by the third day,
What?
we were just we were
Damn.
we recorded the whole thing in 2 days
Oh,
flat, and
that's
then by the
crazy.
third day, we were just like kind of going back and touching up stuff, and
Yeah.
and putting everything together. And
Fantastic. I love it.
I'm so happy with the way that it came out. That synergy, I work with a lot of producers, man, and if I'm working on a full project with a producer, I definitely prefer to like be in the same room with them because
Yeah.
I feel like that just it makes you connect on another level, and it comes across in the music, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that was a really dope project. Some of my favorite tracks, obviously, was Telphonius Monk and then Vinyl Stop. But my favorite song, lyrics and beat, was Vladimir. Holy cow,
Yeah.
that song is
Thank
hard.
you. Good look,
Woo!
man. I
And the
appreciate it,
cuts,
yo.
Butter Knife did the cuts for that track too.
Nah, that's actually shout out to Tone Split, man. Shout out to Tone Split. Tone Split went crazy on that. Yeah.
Man, yo, they don't want to go lyric to lyric because I'm a motherfucking giant and you others is midgets. Dig it? You start popping like that. Here's now the money rushing like Vladimir. Oh man, I was like, yeah, that was great.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, for
Word, I
sure.
appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I'm glad that it had videos too, and again, man, just your fashion sense in the videos were really good. Love the black and red theme for Teflonious Monk and Vladimir. Just, I mean, I
Yeah.
just was blown away, man. That was a hard.
Thank you, man.
And I love that you do some of the cipher mic sessions too. You did rip the mic. That was dope when
Yeah.
walking down the stairs and
Yeah,
freaking
yeah, yeah.
wordplay was disgusting. It was
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Hell yeah, man.
And it was cool to see. So I'm friends with a guy named Vic. I used to rhyme with him, Convoy, who now owns Underground Hip Hop Blog.
Right, right, right.
You
Shout
know,
out my
Vic,
boy, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vic and Armando, who does usually the footage. And I was like, dude,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
did a mic session in L.A. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Nah.
How did that?
That's
How did
not
that
it.
happen?
Well, to be honest with you, shout out to my lovely wife, man. She had a business, she had like a business conference or something that she had to do. So
Okay.
I was like, man, why don't I just tag along with you? I want to go to LA. It's been a few years since I've been to LA. I want
Yep.
to go to LA too. Right? So then once I got out there, I started hitting people up or whatever, people that I knew, and I'm like, yo, let's. And so he was like, yo, I was actually supposed to go and do that the night that I landed, but we were supposed to get, and we was trying to, and we just had to go get a rental car. The
Okay.
wait at the rental
It
car
was
place,
crazy.
bro, was literally like we were literally there for like 4 or 5 hours. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I called dude and I'm like, yo, there's no way I'm gonna make it tonight, and I can't leave my wife here to get the car. We gotta reschedule this before I leave. But I was there for like I think 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
So I got in touch with him. We was able to reschedule for another
Yeah.
day. And I went and I pulled up on him, and you know what I'm saying, everything went dope. And I'm so happy with the way that turned out, man.
Yeah.
LA has
Good.
always been a place that I love to go to. I think I've probably been to LA about 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And every time I go, I always love it, man. I mean, you hear a lot of bad things about LA, and I
Yeah.
definitely see some stuff. I definitely seen some stuff go down, but
Every
it's
city got
still, yeah, but it's still like it's a beautiful place, and as soon as I land, I still get that feeling. Every time I land at LAX, I
it.
still get that feeling like, yeah, I'm here. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just a beautiful place, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it has that feel that like New York has on the East Coast. It's like, yeah, I'm in
Oh
LA.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not yeah. Same thing with New York. When you go home, every time I land at JFK, I'm like, yeah, but
I'm
New York,
here.
but it's a different vibe. It's like when you land in New York, it's like, all right, I gotta be on my P's and Q's. Everything is moving so fast, everything is moving so tight. And LA is more like I gotta be on my P's and Q's too, but it's still a laid back vibe and it's beautiful and visibly the palm trees and everything, and the weather is awesome, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, I love the song that you did. You picked the "I Can't Wait" from your Jigonometry 2 project. That was dope.
Yeah.
Back with the real shit they was counting on. If I ain't on your in your top five, you probably counted wrong. Hell yeah, freaking lie. Was
Yeah.
me. Woo,
Thank you,
man.
man.
It's quotable, man. But yeah, hey man, you got a lot of great music, a lot of dope videos. I love it. Your content is sick. A lot of features. I love the track that you did with Magnetic too. I'm a big fan of him as
Oh,
well.
Lawrence, yeah, that's my boy, man. I hate him, man. I hate him and I love him at the same
Yeah,
time.
because he's
That's
so
my
good,
boy.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now
Yeah,
we always just go back and forth. We always just go back and forth with each other, man.
yeah.
He's like when I get around King Magnetic, it's like I get to be like a kid again.
Oh, that's
You know
cool.
what I'm saying?
He's a good
Like
homie
when I
then.
get around him, we be like roughhousing and play fighting and pushing each other around. You know what I'm saying? I might snuff him, he might snuff me. Like
That's
you know what
good
I'm
in
saying? It's just yeah, nah. But yeah, it's very like a young playful energy. Play practical jokes on each other. You know all that cool stuff. So nah, shout out to King Magnetic. That's my boy, man.
Yeah, Warrants was a dope track. I enjoyed that too as well. But yeah, hey, thank you again. It was an honor to talk to you about your history, your music, all the dope things that you've been doing, and I appreciate you sharing your perspective about hip hop music in general. Very
Hmm.
valuable. I'm honored to be able to share your story. So man, and I love to close these interviews out with just some fun, lighthearted questions, man. You ready to go on some?
Okay,
All
let's
right.
go. Let's go.
John Jiggs, what is his favorite food? What's his go-to when he's hungry?
Oh, favorite food.
When you need a certain type of something, what is
I ain't gonna lie, man. Lately, I've been on tacos.
it? Ooh, good choice.
Yeah, I've been on tacos. And you know, on the West Coast, I do it the best. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But we get busy here at the crib too, though.
Are you a crunchy shell guy or do you like the tortillas?
Well, look. So for the longest time, I was the flour tortillas, right?
Okay.
But then, I found out about those hard shells with the seasoning on them. Oh my God! Now I don't know.
Game
Now
changer.
it's a game changer, complete game changer.
Oh, I
Because I
love it.
used to get them at Taco Bell, like you can get the Doritos
The
tacos,
Dorito one.
right. So I used to mess with
Elegant.
those, right? But then I went in the grocery store and I saw you could actually buy them,
Yeah.
the shells. I'm like, oh man.
That's
So
something.
now I'm like, yeah. Now it's like I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. Tacos, man. That's a winner to me.
Tacos is good,
All
definitely.
right. Hey, pick between cats or dogs.
Oh, dog. Oh, every. I'm allergic to cats anyway. I don't really like cats.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They make me sick, and I don't like that. I feel like cats are like mad sneaky, like and they and they sometimes like they only come around you when they want some food or whatever. Like
Yeah.
my dog, I can't get rid of him. He follows me everywhere I go. He always wants to be next to me.
That's cool.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
I saw
saying? So
you got a black lab, right? I saw the
yeah,
picture.
Black Lab and Cane Corso, and he's like one of my kids. You know what I'm saying? That's my youngest son right there.
I love it, man. All right. Hey, if you could have dinner with anyone, past or present, dead or alive, who would it be?
I could have dinner with anyone, past or present. Man, I actually, I wouldn't mind sitting down. I wouldn't mind sitting down with like a Russell Simmons,
Oh, cool.
somebody like that. Somebody who was there in the beginning, and you probably had probably in a conversation with Russell, you probably could pick up so many jewels and
Oh,
so many. He built he was the first like big hip hop mogul.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the first. So I mean, there's people who did it after him who probably did it bigger than him and everything. But like he didn't have anybody to he didn't have anybody to copy.
Right. He was
You
making his
understand
own.
what I'm saying? Yeah, he didn't have anybody. So that's why I look at it like he had to really be a visionary to really know that this thing was going to be a multi-million billion dollar business. He had to, and then obviously I
Yeah.
know it wasn't just him. I know he had help from Rick Rubin, he had help from Leo Cohen, but Russell Simmons was like the guy on the ground level in the streets, like actually promoting this stuff and started off doing parties and you know what I'm saying, and it turned into something else. I think I would love to talk to him just to like hear the stories and just hear like what kept him. How did you know that this was going to be what it was? When you heard LL Cool J, how did you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you heard, or even when your brother was doing a group, how did you know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, and you're
Yeah,
right. At an early time when resources weren't available, yeah, he'd be definitely.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like there was nothing, there's no blueprint for him to
That's right.
follow. Puff and Jay-Z and Irv Gotti and Birdman and all these other people. They had somebody to look at and
Yeah,
kind of model themselves after. But Russell Simmons, there
that was
was
him.
nobody else like him.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. All right, man. Hey, favorite actor or actress?
Uh, favorite actor, Al Pacino.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, and nobody does it like Pacino, man.
Yeah, that's right.
De Niro is up there too. De Niro is up there too.
He,
They right, but Al Pacino just got that little extra. I don't know, man. He just every part I see him in, I believe it. I really believe it. He
oh,
really like, especially Carlito's Way, man. He
oh, yeah. On any given Sunday, I like
brilliant.
him a lot too. And
Yeah,
Scarface,
yeah, yeah, brilliant.
good one. All right, I like to laugh and I like jokes, man. What is your favorite comedy movie of all time?
Favorite comedy? Oh man, gotta be Coming to America, man.
Oh, that's my favorite movie, man. Oh my God,
It's
dude.
Coming to America, and definitely
Woo.
Harlem Nights too was good too.
Yeah, I'm an Eddie Murphy dude.
Harlem Nights,
That's
yeah,
my favorite movie of all time. Coming to
yeah,
America, man.
yeah.
Woo,
Coming to
that's
America is
great.
hilarious.
Well, good, man. Well, hey, thank you. That was fun. Again, it was an honor to speak with you and to learn about who John Jiggs is. I'm excited to be able to put this interview out. But now I want to turn the floor for you for any closing comments, man, and have you end this session. Any words that you want to say?
Yes, man. First of all, I want to thank everybody for, your unwavering support. You know what I'm saying? Keeping me going in this hip hop thing. Um, Make sure you support the new album, Teflonious Monk. It's on Bandcamp right now. I actually just released it on all DSPs as well. So go run those numbers up. Go watch the new videos, the Teflonious Monk video as well as the Vladimir video. They're both out right now on YouTube. And look out. I'm definitely going to be look out for the Teflonious Monk US tour. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That should be like sometime this summer. I definitely make sure people pop out. If you need me in your city, man, make sure you reach out to your local promoter and tell them, man, if you ain't got John Jiggs down here, you ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? And no, that's about it, man. Just keep supporting me. Follow me on John on Instagram, John underscore Jigs. Make sure you follow me on all the streaming platform. That's John Jiggs with the dollar sign. You know what I mean? And as long as y'all support me, man, I'm gonna keep coming with coming with that real music, man. You know what I'm saying? Support the underground artists, man. It takes a lot for us to do what we do, man. So support.